This is the Batman we've all been waiting for. It's finally the Dark Knight of our dreams.
Peep the writer here.
Crusader. Yeah, I mean, that looks like the kind of person who would say that it's the Batman of their dreams.
Penguin.
Yeah.
She can see herself in the shot.
If only she could see her feet.
Jar Jar Abrams is a producer who this is the destroyer of franchises. He's fucked up Star Trek beyond belief. He fucked up Star Wars, and he got a big deal from Warner Brothers. I was just talking about it earlier, $250 million for first right of refusal to pitch some products. And the only thing he managed to get made was a repurposed Batman the Animated Series, because we don't have writers and creators anymore. We have repurposers. And it was, and for anybody who bring George Lucas back, Bruce Timm is involved. One of the original creators of Batman the Animated Series. Paul Dini is not, as far as I know.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. Bruce Timm, designer. Dini was the writer.
Yes.
He wrote the stories. The reason they were so great.
There's names like Ed Brubaker on this. There's also Jar Jar Abrams. And it's supposed to take place in the 30s, and it's supposed to be Golden Age Batman. And they have the Golden Age version of the villains. The thing is, though, and I think this is why Ryan will particularly like this show, is it's very diverse version of the 30s, extremely diverse. James Gordon, black. Barbara Gordon, black. Dr. Quinzel, fat and Asian. Yeah.
Penguin. Woman.
Penguin. Oswalda Cobblepot. So you saw that. And then
Eswalda Gobblecock.
Yeah.
Again, sex icon of Gotham.
Yeah, that was the weird part about it. Like, everyone was like, it's weird enough to make Penguin a woman, but then to pretend like all these dudes really want her or into her when she's just a fucking disgusting mess.
Disgusting man.
What the fuck? It doesn't make any sense.
They robbed the gravitas that the character's supposed to have. Penguin is usually you look at him and you're thrown off because he is ugly, and then he also has this menace to him, right? None of that is there with this. They're trying to make her charming, and it's like you have destroyed any concept of what the Penguin's supposed to be with this interpretation.
I think this is a drag queen.
Well, they could have played the attractiveness as if everybody in that room was petrified, and so they were just playing along, but they don't do that at all.
No, the animation is a bit flat. Oh, I'm not done, by the way. We got Renee Montoya is wider than she is tall, and she is, for the first part of this series, the main character. Batman is...
Not Batman.
The voice is fine. The look is fine. No complaints about the Batman.
I don't know who's voicing him, but when he was Bruce Wayne, I was looking away from the screen for a little bit the first time he spoke in his Bruce Wayne voice, and I thought it was Sterling Archer for a second, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
But it kind of morphed a little bit. But that was the first thing I heard when he was being Bruce Wayne, and he's obviously not being as serious as he is when he's Batman. When he's Bruce Wayne, he's pretending that he's way more drunk than he is, and all this shit. But the first thing I thought when I heard that voice is that fucking Archer?
I know.
Would have been funny.
Well, and then there's Harvey Dent. So Harvey Dent is basically the misogynist, corrupt D.E.I. before he becomes Two-Face.
I'm down with that. I think it's an improvement of his character.
Well, I didn't know...
He's Two-Face. Harvey Dent is the good guy.
Kind of ruins
the whole point of the two faces. If both faces are bad...
I didn't know the comics, so I didn't know whether he was supposed to be that or not. But it didn't make sense to me that you're a prick before you turn, and then your other face is also a prick. So now you're just one face. So
wait. They're clearly doing the whole he's a prick before, and then he gets splashed with acid or burned or whatever, and that's the good one. Yeah,
because then he gets suppressed.
Okay.
Maybe we should be nice to people.
And the introduction to Harvey Dent's character was with Barbara Gordon, and she's a Gen Z, I'm a feminist, I'm a working boss girl.
Defense attorney. So yeah, I got 7 episodes in, and by the 6th episode, I think there was one that pretty much primarily featured Batman, and it's boring. The thing is, it's really boring and not well written, not well put together.
Oh yeah, it's dumb.
And keep in mind that Warner Brothers, who owns DC, owns the character Batman, canceled this show and sold it off. Didn't feel like it was good enough to put on Max. And the idiots at Prime Video bought it, dropped it all at once. There was a very little fanfare, by the way. The thing that made Batman the Animated Series so fucking good was the storytelling. It was there was like good moral storytelling, and there was good morality tales, stuff that made you think, that really characterized Batman. And Batman becomes essentially, for the first few episodes anyway, a side character in his own show. So what you're seeing here is from left to right, Harley Quinn, Renee Montoya, and Barbara Gordon. So that Batgirl.
Yeah, completely unrecognizable. It's like
who out of these is fucking each other?
All of them. I'm assuming.
Well, I mean, it's already come out that 2 of the 3 are lesbians, and I already have the wiki prisoner of the moment people on Twitter going, it's that way in the comics. And yeah, it sucked. It sucked in the comics too. New 52 sucked balls, and it sucked then. It sucks now. But they were never other than Barbara Gordon. Probably make her lesbian too. Why the hell not? Yeah. They're all U-Haul drivers. Okay.
You know, Robin's gonna be gay, and Alfred's probably gay.
Alfred's fat and gay.
The moment you get Penguin, turn it into a woman and start trying to pretend she's a criminal genius after we've proved she's an idiot, anything out of the comics is gone anyway. You can't simultaneously change everything and then cling to the comics being canon whenever you want. You either make something comic book accurate or anything is fair game the moment you start changing.
It's comic book accurate after a retcon. Now, to be fair, Disney retcons the shit out of everything. But they've really... The whole SJW Marvel thing was started by DC. Like, DC was the first one to dive into that in the mid to late 2000s, and I hated it then. I hate it now. It's fucking terrible. The character of Harley Quinn is terrible. She needs to be killed off. She was only really good in Batman the Animated Series. She's fucking worthless now. She's some sort of feminist icon in this show, by the way. The big fat Asian. No, it's Dr. Quinzel, Asian woman. That's what I'm calling her. She captures greedy rich men. So she's fighting capitalism and the patriarchy. Both. Both. And the reason some of us got criticism for calling this woke Batman, the reason we did that is because Bruce Timm told us this would be woke Batman. I'm going to do all the stuff they wouldn't let me do back then. This is my true vision of Batman the Animated Series. They're pulling that shit. So
it really sucks because, like, I do like the animation. I think the animation is really well done. I like the style that they're going with. It's just a bad fucking story, and all of the characters aren't, except for Batman. I think you were saying earlier, like, I like the characterization of Batman. He was fine, but he's in the movie or in the show for like 10% of every episode.
It's not much until later.
It's not much at all.
At least Catwoman looks good too. Catwoman looks fine.
Catwoman's good. Yeah.
But then we got this.
I'm sorry. Tell you what, meet me later at Hopper's on Wilson and Lowry. We'll pick up where we left off.
It's a Batman show. But we've been following Renee Montoya on a date. She's the lead detective now. We see more of her than James Gordon. It's freaking terrible. Now, was that from the comics and the retcons? Sure. Like, except for, I don't know. I haven't read the DC comics. Have they made Dr. Quinzel a fat Asian woman?
Yeah, was that in the comics?
No, but
she's not a fat Asian woman.
Them becoming lesbian and Poison Ivy and, like, they're all, I mean, pretty much everybody's a lesbian or gay in DC now. So
how much of this, you reckon, is Jar Jar's vision? How much is it attributed to him that or was he just getting a paycheck, phoning it in?
He's an executive producer, and I think Bruce Timm did write an episode, so he is involved. But like Brubaker, executive producer, I think they just threw a bunch of names on this, and it's just people who have done cartoons over the last 10 years who have worked on it.
It feels like written by committee. All the check boxes
check,
and a DEI intersectional wet dream.
Yeah, I think this is another thing that'll be just completely forgotten. We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.